Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to add conditions into your programs. Now, so far our programs, when you've hit a button or run some code, it's just going line by line and doing every single line of code in order. What we want to do now is give your program the ability to do this chunk of code or do that chunk of code. We want to ask questions. Think of a video game where the player's lives is hit 0. You want to be able to say, if the player has some more lives, let them continue the level. If their lives is now at 0, well, we got to go to the game over screen. You can think about all the times like if the bullet hits the monster, then make an explosion and play a sound. If the bullet hits the wall, then just destroy the bullet. You want to have questions you can ask and then decide what kind of code you want to run. Programs are full of this. So let's take a quick peek here. I've written a little framework here, and I've added code into a pick random button that's going to show a random number in there. And I've already written that one. You can see right here. I generate the random number. You've seen that before. And I put it in the box. You'll see I have a box up here called text comment. I'm going to do all my comments and stick them into this box as I show you these conditions that we're going to write. So let's go back to the pick random button and get a nice condition in there. The random number that's being generated here is between 1 and 100. So here's your first simple little condition. If the number is bigger than, let's say, 80, curly brace, I'm going to write text comment dot set text. That's a big number. Now, let's give this a go. Probably you're going to make sense of what this does, but that's the greater than symbol. So if number is greater than 80, so you know that number has been just set to something randomly. I show it in the box, and then I ask a question, a condition. If this condition inside the parentheses is true, it's going to run this code. If it's not true, it's going to skip this thing here. It's going to skip between the two curly braces. These two curly braces create a block of code. And this is the block that I'm highlighting right now. This block of code only executes when this statement here, the condition, evaluates to true. So what you have to put here has to be true and false. A quick run here. And let's pick our random number. 69. Nope. Didn't do it. Nope. 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 Now remember, this is random. There we go. I got a number over 80. Okay, and it has to be bigger than 80, right? Not 80. And it writes it out. Now, unfortunately, the text just stays in the box, right? I don't ever clear it out. So we're not going to see any good action there. But this is your basic if statement. Okay, a very, very, very simple one. You're going to use these if statements all the times in your games, in your programs. Now, let's beef this example up a bit. If the number's over 80, that's a big number. You saw that that just stays in the box. Let's change it so it always writes something in the box. So here's our modification. If the number is bigger than 80, that's a big number. You can follow the block of code after an if statement. You can follow it with the word else if you want. And else, text comment dot set text. That's small. Okay. What the else statement does is it basically means otherwise. So if this is true, do that code. Otherwise, you're going to do this code. So either way, something's going to happen here. So this is the perfect structure for when you want to do this, or you're going to end up doing that. And you know, no surprise, when we run this, it's going to work. And it actually changes now from small to big. I don't get the big very often. I should have made it 50, but you get the idea. I'm going against odds here. It's not doing it very often, right? There we go. Anyways, it works. So that's the if else statement. Now, like I said, you don't have to do an else statement, okay, if you don't want to, but you'll find that it's a useful thing you can throw in there. Some students actually like to do this, which isn't as good. I mean, it's not bad, you're just learning. If it's less than or equal to 81, text, comment, set text. That's small. This basically does the same task, right? The results are going to happen. It does this check. If it's true, it does the code. Then it goes on to this if statement. If it's true, it does the code. So it's going to have the same overall effect on the program when we run it, right? Big numbers will say big. The small numbers, whoops, I should have said 80 there. 80 and smaller is going to be that small. Okay. Now, this isn't as good because two questions have to be asked all the time. Whereas when we had it before, see how far back I can go. There we go. You'll see when we have it like this, if this runs and it's true, the number is like 99, and it runs this code, it doesn't even bother doing this at all. So only one if statement was run and it ran the code. So it's considered more efficient. You'll sort of pick up on the efficiency, as you get better. So either way for now, you get it to work, it's good, but it's nice if you can pick up on this style. Now, there's actually one more we can sneak in here in this video, and this is the one. Whoops, that's not the right one. And the one more is, let's check, for when you have more than two possibilities. So just one if statement alone, do some code. We just saw with the if else, you can do this or you can do that. What happens when you have a couple options? And for my couple options, I'm going to grab this one here, find level. You're going to type a score in here. And the way the score is going to work, let's just scroll down to the button here. I'm going to fast forward right now, and I'm actually going to write some code. And bam, there's our magic code. I've gone and made two variables for us here. I've made score and level. And what the user is doing in this problem is they are going to type their score in. And then up here in the comment box, we're going to say what level they are. And now we're going to keep this super easy. A score of 1 to 10 is going to get them level 1. A score of 11 to 20 is going to get, no, you know what? We're going to keep this really simple. For the levels, we're going to say that from 0 to 9 is level 1. From 10 to 19 is level 2. From 20 to 29 is level 3. And from 30 and up will be level 4. So you have a lot of choices here, right? Here's how we can do it with the if statements. Okay, and this is an example of something new, and it's really the last new little thing we can stick in our ifs here. We're going to say if the score variable that I've read, okay, is less than or equal to 9, then the level equals 1. Else. Now, if I just put else here, every other score is going to be some different level. But that's not what I want. So I can do this. I can continue asking questions. So if it's less than 9, level's 1. Otherwise, if score is less than or equal to 19, level equals 2. Else if the score is less than or equal to 29, level equals 3. And then a final, otherwise, their score must be so high that their level can be 4. And then what I do is I know that one of these has happened. And now I can put the level in the box. So text level, set text, level, level. Text level. Why isn't that called text level? Whoops. Let's rename this variable name to text. Whoops. I forgot what I was doing here. I'm not putting in text level. I'm putting it up in text. Comment. There we go. Now, why does this work? Because if we test it, it will work. and I'll show that to you in a second. But check out what happens if the score is 25. If the score is less than 9, nope. So it skips this block of code and it goes to check the next question. If the score is less than 19, nope, it was 25. So it skips this and it goes on to the next one. Is the score less than 29? Yes, 25 is less than 29. It'll set the level to 3 and then it jumps down. It skips all the other else ifs or elses that exist, and then it continues on its way and it shows it. If the score was 2, if the score is less than 9, yes, a score of 2 is less than 9. It'll set the level to 1. It did the block of code. It doesn't have to do the else now, so it skips all the way down to the end, and then it continues on. This is called an else-if chain, or an if-else-if chain. You can make this go on a long way. There's other ways to do it in programming, but this is a nice beginner way that definitely takes care of when you have several options that you want to do based on some variables. Let's give it a quick run here just to make sure it works. Find level. So let's say score is 2. I'm level 1. Score is 25. Level 3. Score is 99. Level 4. Score is so big. Level 4. Right? Score is 14. Level 2. You should always check all your levels, right? That's good testing. Make sure you check all of them. Make sure they work. Nice. Anyways, that's the if-else-if chain. Now, do some students love to just put lots of if statements instead all by themselves? Yes, it is possible, but this is the better choice if you're going to use ifs, okay, to do the if-else-if chain. So that's a good summary, okay, of a bunch of conditions for you there. I guess we should leave this with one little extra here, is I should tell you what kind of symbols you can use. So let me just put a comment here. What you can use in your programs is you can use greater than, less than, greater than equal, less than or equal. If you want to check if things are equal, you actually use 2 equal signs, not 1. And not equals is the exclamation mark equal sign. So that pretty well covers all your bases. So just a little example there. If you wanted to check if 2 variables are equal, you could say if A equals B. And then you put some code, inside the curly braces. If you wanted to check if A doesn't equal B, if A doesn't equal B, do some code inside the curly braces. These things, they're called operators, and those are the basic ones right there. Thanks for watching.